SportsNite got started because Scott Sabatsky came with this idea. He called Ronnie Baker and said, I want to invite Howie Cosell to come to Kansas City. What's it going to cost? I think it was like $15,000. He said, well, you go raise $15,000 and call me back. So next day or 2 days later, Scott called back, I got $15,000. Wow, that was a lot of money back. He said, in fact, I got a bit more than that. I got money from other people coming in. So Ronnie called me and said, what do you think of this idea? I think it's a good idea. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least we're covering our expenses and we can make something, and it might be something that could last for a while. So they told Scott, go ahead, and Scott put together a good committee, and we went out and sold tickets, and the first several were very big successes. We didn't charge a whole lot. We wanted people to come. And so one night at the campus board meeting, Scott Sabatsky sitting on one side of me and Sherman Dryson sitting on the other side. And it was just right the weekend after, or a couple of days after the SportsNite event. So Sherman says, you know, you got great events, you're not making enough money off of it. Why don't you charge more money? So I said, Sherman, you're talking to the wrong guy. I said, you know, Scott, yeah, we've met. So they shake hands again. They know each other. And I said, Sherman, tell him what you're just telling me. So Sherman says, you ought to charge more money. Well, why? Yeah, we can't. Do you think people will pay it? He says, yes. Have a $5,000 and a $10,000 table. Right now, you got $1,500 tables and you got $2,500 tables, and you're making some money, but you're not making enough. So let's try something different. Go ahead and have a $10,000 table and $5,000 tables. Will you buy one? Yes, I'll be. And Sherman smiled and said, yes, I'll be happy to. So we did it, and we raised, I don't know how much more, but it was a lot more money than we'd raised before, because we had several people buy the $5,000 tables and a few people bought the $10,000 tables. And so after several years, Scott was getting tired of this because he was really working hard, and CPA, he was keeping busy because it was coming right after tax time was over for the October timeframe. So Herb Bookbinder stepped in and took charge, and he did an excellent job of going out and getting new people to come in, but Scott still worked on bringing people in. And so then both of them got tired of it, and it kind of faded for like a year. And then Jacob Schreiber was our new executive director, and he had a fantastic idea of the SuperStar program that he had been very successful when he was head of the Hillels of Georgia. There were 7 Hillels in the greater Atlanta area that he was in charge of. And so he brought the idea to Kansas City and to the J, and I said, go talk to Herb and talk to Scott. So he talked to both of them. They fell in love with it, said, we'll help you. And so it took off, and it was a phenomenal success, and it's a phenomenal success today. We're still raising well over $1 million a net that goes to the center. Part of it goes to the operating budget, and part of it goes into the endowment. We also have 150 to 250 students that try out for that. And so it's well known all over the greater Kansas City area, and people as far away as 40 and 50 miles drive their kids in for it to compete on this thing. So it is well known. The number one scholarship, the number one winner gets a $10,000 scholarship for college. The second one is $5,000 and $2,500, and fourth place gets $1,000. Everybody who qualified, the 20 people who qualified for the finals, for the semifinals, gets money, like $100 each, and the ones who qualified for the finals, that didn't make the thing, gets $500. So that's a nice incentive for people to do it.